morning, everyone. This is Sean Butner with Start Your Week with the Coach. This is the weekly recap video that I do on Fridays on my live show, and it's usually pretty awesome. So this week we have been talking about how to envision your future and why it's important, why it's important for you to, as a leader, be able to figure out where you're trying to take the team, you're trying to take the family, you're trying to take, the health of a group of people, trying to lead your community, how it's really important for building your success so that you can walk back, excuse me, from the future and figure out everything that you need to do. And really, it's all about building a higher quality of life. So, have you ever really struggled with getting progress on a big project, on a big goal, on something that was really important to you? And in those moments, how engaged were you in the future and thinking like an athlete, right? At the starting line of a race, and seeing themselves going around that turn and beating everyone, having that vision for themselves before they go and execute. Have you struggled with maybe, just not feeling great or connected to all of the great things that you've been doing? So a lot of times when you're really accomplished, you're not thinking, how do I feel a lot more engaged and connected with, this feeling. So, hey Dave, hey Kate, that reminds me, guys, if you're here, say hey below. This is pretty awesome. But, as you go through life and we're not thinking about how we're feeling, we don't really think about the goal in the end. We're not thinking about how we're coming and showing up for our teams. It could really limit our performance and our success. And as a high performance coach, it's my job to help push you into higher levels of success without burning out. So this week in the recap video, I'll go through the 4 points that we talked about and kind of how they relate to each other. And again, like, this is such an important thing because every team that I've worked on in my professional life, or even like in my family life growing up, like, there were elements of this when things were good, and it really helped, connect people. It really helped everyone succeed over the long term, building that success. So when I was really young, my mom had breast cancer and she was really sick. And so at like 5, my parents sat my brother and I down and they're like, hey, like, we need you guys to help out. And so having that vision of, okay, like, everyone's going to be doing chores now. Everyone's going to be, doing laundry. I mean, there's only one time that my brother and I actually threw out our laundry on accident. But, doing the trash, doing laundry, doing dishes, all that stuff growing up, but it was because we had that role on the team, which was the family, right? Or in my work at Apple, right? Everyone knew why the work was important. And, we were, the team that I was working on was trying to help prevent bugs from being released out in the wild. So, when you caught something, it wasn't, oh, I found this bug that crashed the phone or crashed the application. It's, I found something that's going to make that, millions of people won't experience. And there's that quality to the product that I helped create, So that's kind of some of the power of envisioning. So how do you get there, right? Monday we talked about congruence, and I know on Instagram that this is backwards. Sorry, guys. And really what that is just, if you're showing up in your life and you're not super incongruent with your values and how you feel and how you want to be in the world and as your best self, you're going to be fighting a lot of cognitive dissonance, right? And that saps productivity. It saps your energy. It saps your ability to make bold moves towards your dreams and all that. It saps your ability to be influential because you're like uncertain and of yourself because you're not living into your congruence. And so what do I really mean by that? Okay. So every morning I have 3 words that pop up on my phone that say present, that says optimistic, and humorous, right? And that's when I can find those 3 things in my life every day, then I know that yeah, I'm living up to the person that I want to be, and each of those words are important to me because um, I can get caught in my head. So being very present in the moment is important for me to like not disengage from the world. My mom was always super into finding the funny things in terrible situations. It probably is why I have a very strange sense of humor, but it's very important to me. And then optimistic, like so much can be. It's so easy to fall into the negative, and it's a constant reminder for me to like, hey, you know, things aren't as bad as they could be. That's one way to look at it. But I generally feel like we can figure our way out of stuff and move forward. So, um, and that's helped me succeed in a lot in my life. So, first question for you guys is, what are your three words that would describe your best self? Again, this is also one of the exercises we love to do in the certified high performance coaching process that a lot of clients, a lot of people around the world have really connected to this exercise. So, yeah. So, when you know those three words, if you can prompt yourself in the morning to be like, okay, what are they? What do I need to do today to live and embody that? If you're able to do that, by the time your head hits the pillow when you go to bed, um, you'll feel like a much more congruent person, and you'll think it's a good day. And you're right, Kate, this is totally a tough question, so don't stress too much about it either, right? Like, you're not like going through it once and those are your words forever. A lot of times people have to like kind of think about it, open up a journal and see what comes up, and then that might be helpful. So, but if you know your three words and you're on, please post those in the comment section below because that would be awesome. I'm always so intrigued to hear what people's words are. Okay, so we talked about congruence. The second thing we talked about envisioning is the emotions that you want in your life, and so many times we aren't prompting ourselves to feel accomplished, to feel happy, to feel like we really need to grieve. Like, it's not just feeling all the positive emotions, but you know, if you're not having an intention every day on how you want to feel or every week on how you want to feel, you're kind of leaving it up to the world to determine it. And if you look around right now, the world's not doing such a good job of injecting a lot of positive emotions or emotions that people want to have. Excuse me. So, yeah, if you're getting your emotions from the news or the media or the angry internet mob, you're probably not doing yourself a disservice. So, a couple of things you could do, like in the morning, you can ask yourself some questions like, what am I excited for today? What am I really looking forward to today? You can ask yourself, what do I expect is going to trip me up today? Like, what hurdles am I going to encounter? And then, this is where the envision part comes in. Like, how am I going to overcome them? Or how could I overcome them if they show up? Excuse me. Any case, sorry about the throw, guys. I don't know what's going on. Still kind of early in the morning here. Okay. But yeah, so what are you excited for today? What's something that might come up today or this week that might trip you up, and how can you overcome that? Um, and then like, third question I like to ask too is like, if there's anything that's kind of nagging you, is like, what would it take to just let that go? Just you could like imagine like crumpling up a negative recurring thought and actually throwing it away. I do that all the time because my brain likes to bring up all these like weird social like interactions from like middle school, high school. You're like, oh, you really messed that up. I'm like, come on, man, like that was so long ago. Why would you be coming up right now? Just get rid of that. So those are three things to do with envisioning the emotions you want and the emotional reality that you want. And I think this is such a missed opportunity for so many people because we don't think about it. And, the world seems to be kind of shifting into a more volatile, not um, super optimistic place. I guess that's from my perspective. But any case, okay. Vision. Idea number 3 is to envision your goals. Like I mentioned, the athlete that can picture them succeeding in the near future. That's something we also don't do. So if you're working on, your health, if you're working on building a really awesome relationship, like how often are you thinking like or imagining like you succeeding at it, right? Or you have that really awesome date, or you have that really awesome meeting at work where everyone like gives you a standing ovation and throws flowers at you for pitching the best project idea. Um, how often are you engaging in your imagination on how successful you can be? Because often that imagination is what limits us. It's kind of a weird like the secret thing, but it's really true that a lot of times people settle for what they think they deserve and not what they're capable of. So um that's really really important in figuring out like, okay, these are the successes that I want. So the first thing you need in order to know that is like, what are you actually working towards? And a lot of people is, especially if you have had big goals and you accomplish it, then you're like, well, now what? So how can you really come up and make sure you have some things that you're working on in the different areas of your life. And then two, you have to kind of imagine the best case scenario and then work backwards. So right before I pitched that awesome meeting where everyone was gave me high fives for a whole month, like before that, what did I have to do? Oh, I had to prepare X, Y, and Z. So how did I do that in a way that was fun, in a way that where I had joy in that process, to envision your emotions, and that really like brought people together. And then you're like, okay, then you just keep walking it back. Pretty like, this isn't like super new stuff on goals, but it's the important stuff that people constantly miss, including myself. So okay, the last thing to think about when you're envisioning is your team, right? And so you want to think, if you work on a team, if you lead a team, if you have anyone else in your household, you can think of that as like living team, family team, life partner team, whatever. When there's more than one person, it's super important when we're thinking about the future to enroll people, to engage them, to help them create the vision for the group. So, one of the core tenets of leadership is people tend to follow what they create. And so, how are you doing that in your teams or in your family or with your friends or with all that? How are you creating a vision together and sharing that together? Nobody likes a dictator that's like, here's what we're doing. You that's it. We either like it, you don't like it, high road, whatever. Like that's not good leadership. Sometimes it's necessary, like, but sustainably, like that will not work for a lot of people. So, how are you enrolling and creating that team? The second thing is again, kind of just going back through what we talked about, like how do you get the organization or the team congruent with their values? And this doesn't have to be like a 3 words thing is can be really heady. When you start adding people, it gets kind of weird, but like, in my marriage, it's like we're supposed to love each other. And even when, something really bugs me, my eye starts to twitch with, with my wife because whatever, living in close quarters, it's like, well, I remind myself, like, no, I just have to love her. Like, this is very petty in the grand scheme of things. And maybe you can relate. Um, Last thing on team. Oh, yeah, like the whole reason for thinking about the future with your team is that that's how you can be more productive. Again, to tie it into your performance, if you got people coming together, if you're able to effectively, co-create that vision, if you can, really work on that and get that right, then you're able to accomplish more towards your mission, towards the goal, towards, just connecting and building intimacy. So super, super awesome. So anyways, guys, what do you guys like about this video? Just let me know down below. That would be awesome. This goes on to my newsletter, so you can go to seanbutner.com, and you'll see like Start Your Week with the Coach, where you'll get these weekly recap videos sent to your inbox if you prefer that. If you like it, wherever you're watching it now, like totally cool. Don't want to mess with a good thing, but I just want to let you know that that is an option. And also, guys, I have a couple slots open for my individual coaching. And so if you're thinking like right now I need a process to help me kind of get out of a funk, to help get moving forward, to talk about things kind of like this, then you can go to Sean.coach, and there's an application for you to fill out for a free 1-hour strategy session. I'd love to take you, for you to take me up on this. So many people get so much value just by going through the questionnaire and application. And then you have this 1-hour strategy session where we're diving into high performance and your performance in your life. So it's really awesome. Check it out. Kate says, I like thinking about what my values are. Awesome, Kate. I'm not sure if you've figured it out yet, but I'm glad that you like that. I remember when I was first asked that question, it took me a while to kind of figure it out, but yeah, we don't talk about that stuff too much. So I'm glad that you like it. It's one of my favorite things to talk about in high performance too. So working on it. All right, cool. So, all right, my friends. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a happy Friday, guys. See you guys next week. I'll let you know on wherever you're watching this, but I think I'm going to be moving this show to 9 o'clock in the morning, a little bit later, just to try to shake some things up for me. But I'll let you guys know on the media, like YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, wherever you're watching this. So that said, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. Be kind to each other. Be well, and go forth and conquer. Take care, guys.